In the meantime, a little bit of an exotic twist is coming to Tideswell later on today because an Argentinian tango singer by the name of Martín Alvarado is performing in Derbyshire. It's 6 o'clock at John the Baptist Church, and he's on the line now with his manager Lisa. But before we speak to the two of them, let me just give you a little taste of the sort of thing that Martin likes to do.
Soy de una tierra hermosa, de América del Sur, en mezcla gaucha de indio con español. De piel y voz morochas, bien mi guitarra. Y al mundo van las coplas y me fui yo con un rumor de nido.
That's called Milonga el Trovador, and that is by Martin. Martin's on the line now with Lisa. Good morning.
Morning.
Buen día.
Buenos días, ¿cómo estás?
Buenos días, amigo. ¿Qué tal?
Muy bien, gracias. Excellent. Now, what beautiful rhythms and what a lovely sort of lilting sound. I don't know who wants to talk first on this, but Martin, first of all, can I check that I've got the pronunciation of your surname right? I'm going for Alvarado.
Better than anybody else in the UK, I have to say.
Hey!
We were talking about that with Lisa when we were listening to you.
Well, I win the first prize for Spanish then. Marvelous. I'm better than you, Lisa. Oh, incredible. There we go. Martín Alvarado.
Listen to me. I pronounce my surname myself. Alvarado. You do it better than me.
I do even better than you. Alvarado, que
But
bien.
it's true. We were talking about that because everybody says it's usual to say Alvarado.
Martin Alvarado.
And we were like, oh, what's going on here?
Please welcome on stage Martin Alvarado.
No. That's not right.
That's what they'll say,
Do
isn't
it your way.
Martín Alvarado. Anyway,
Perfecto.
you're from Argentina. Now, I was lucky enough to be in Buenos Aires about a year ago, and in the evening, me and my motley crew of chums, we used to go to these tango bars till about 4 in the morning, drinking Malbec, and very nice it was too, eating large amounts of raw meat, as they do in Argentina, and it was incredible to see the enthusiasm for tango. I mean, people into their 90s were dancing and leading the way. It is a religion out there, isn't it?
Yes. It's a fashion also. It's fantastic. Yes, it's something not only about the milongas. You can also go and have dinner at any time in the big avenues, for instance. It's something that you don't see so often in Europe.
Oh, it's great. You can eat at 3 in the morning if you want to.
Even later.
Go for a mixed grill.
I tell you from my own experience, because sometimes we end up the shows very late, and we go to have dinner after that, so we can end up at 5 o'clock. And it's open, so yeah, I don't know if it's very healthy, but it's something that happens in Buenos Aires.
Who cares about healthy? Do you know, it's great, and then I'm afraid you're going to have your work cut out here. It'll be a curry or a kebab, I'm afraid.
That's true.
Story of our lives.
Yeah, and mine. Now, Martin, I'm going to talk to you more in just a moment. Lisa, though, you manage things for Martin when he's in the UK, don't you?
I do, yes.
How did you come to work with him?
Yes, that's an interesting question. Sometimes ask myself that question, actually. It was about 3 years ago in Nottingham. He was performing in a show with Vincent and Flavia, Midnight Tango, and I got in touch with the show and asked them if their dancers would like to come to one of my events, because I organise tango dancing events in Nottingham. So I asked the cast and crew if they wanted to come, and the musicians, and they came along, and Martin offered to sing at my event, and when I heard him sing, I just couldn't believe how wonderful his voice was, and I wanted to do a proper concert with him, and one thing led to another, and I became his manager.
And so you snapped him up?
I did, yes. I don't think impresario is something I ever intended to be in life, but
Martin, does she take a 15% off you?
More than that.
More.
More?
Yes, sorry, I have to go and wash the plates now.
Yeah.
We became very good friends. Our families are friends, and we were traveling quite much in this year. So, she's doing a fantastic work, a lot of work, a work of 5 people together. So, and it's a lot of fun to tour together. So,
Where are you from in Argentina?
Buenos Aires.
You're from Buenos Aires,
Yes,
yeah.
I'm from the capital.
And it is really the heart of tango. Just tell me how tango came to be such an integral part of Argentinian culture.
Well, it's coming back somehow. In the 40s, 50s, tango, you could go to a cafeteria and you had the biggest orchestras playing for free. You had a coffee and you could see Troilo Orchestra or Pugliese, the biggest names. That suddenly, little by little, died, and now it's slowly coming back. So young people are going to dance events, and there is a lot of young people playing in a very good way tango music. So it's coming back, and mostly the dance is something that is very attractive because even if you're very shy, you can be very close with a lady or a man. So that helps a lot, and that's why I'm a dancer, actually.
Yeah, and you play... What are you giggling at?
Well, as a performer, I was not so successful with girls, so I began dancing, and now I have like 5 girlfriends, and it's very good. Now, but it's because of that, it's a social thing, and you make lots of friends.
Yeah,
and I think it's very interesting too.
If you're a musician, honestly, people fall at your feet, don't they? I bet you've got the choice. There were all those groupies after you finished knocking on your door.
He does get that in Russia a lot, actually.
Does it make you jealous, Lisa? Does it make you jealous?
We shouldn't talk about that.
Are the two of you stepping out?
No, not at all.
I bet.
I have to say I'm very grateful to life.
You evil man. Now, listen, this is something which I imagine you started at quite a young age because you're quite accomplished on the guitar. Was it something that you was very much part of your background as you grew up?
What do you mean?
Tango.
Yes, of course, because even though when I grew up, tango was not so popular anymore in the media, but my father is a big fan, so we were taking those long trips in Argentina for holidays, and they were, sorry, I'm going to say something that maybe you haven't seen because you're very young, but we heard to cassettes, in the stereo, in the car, the CDs were not existing then, and tango was sounding once and again and again and again, so all that information came back to me when I was 25 or something, when I was at music school, and has been there all the time, even though when I was a little boy I didn't like it so much. So now all that information I got in the childhood is there, and I can remember tangos that I heard when I was 5, for instance.
You have come to the UK I imagine you're going to a number of different venues. This isn't the first time you've been to the UK, though, is it?
No, this is like the 14th time.
Right, so you're very well accustomed to touring around here.
I'm touring like 3 times a year now.
And Lisa, tell me how the sort of stuff that Martin does goes down here with British audiences.
They always love it. I can't say that that tango is a very easy sell in England compared to, say, other countries like Russia or Finland.
Really?
Well, no, because it's a different kind of audience here. But the people who do come to the concerts are always really blown away with Martin, and they just fall in love with his voice. He has the most amazing voice.
He does. It's got a sort of, it's haunting is a cliche, and I'm not. It's got a very raw emotion to it, and I don't know whether are you aware of the Portuguese fado? Fado, yeah, which is all about what they call saudade. So that's their word for loss and longing, and not just loss in your own life, but loss of Brazil, their colony, which is now past, and it's very dramatic and emotional. And I think there's something of fado in tango as well. Martin, am I being a bit over poetic, or is that a fair point?
They are connected somehow. Carlos Gardel, the most important tango singer ever, who died in 1935, he used to sing fados too. I think fado is even more sad somehow. I don't recall having heard funny or up-tempo fados.
No, they're always miserable.
Yes, but in tango there are a few exceptions, and you have up-tempo and cheerful milongas, for instance, or some positive tangos. It's not all about loss, even though most of them are about that. But art is about sadness mostly.
Yeah, I think it is by definition. It's about struggle, isn't it? And it's about things which aren't resolved and unfulfilled, and that's what gives the magic to a lot of pieces of art, be they visual or musical. We had some really great memories from listeners to BBC Radio Derby earlier on. You'll have missed that probably, but talking about how they learned to dance and still now dancing into the 80s and 90s. And that was the one thing I noticed in Buenos Aires, that really people who maybe even couldn't walk that well, when they got on that dance floor, they just became someone else. It was as if the youth in them, the youngster in them, had just come back to the fore again. It does something to people, doesn't it, tango?
It definitely does. And I dance myself. I've been dancing for about 7.5 years, and I fully intend to be able to dance until I'm 90, if I live that long.
Yeah. Yes. Not too many of those late night kebabs, and then you might make it. Martin, are you coming to Tideswell? And it's quite a small venue, isn't it? Do you mind going to sort of fairly small places like that, or is it nice?
No, I don't. I sometimes enjoy that because it's so close to people. Actually, I come from Siberia and from St. Petersburg. I was playing in huge venues and philharmonic halls, and I also enjoy that very much, I have to say. But I like to play music. I'm happy in any occasion as long as I can sing and I can play and I can express myself with my music. So I enjoy playing everywhere, and I've been told that this venue is very pretty. I didn't know it was so small, so this is news for me, but I don't mind. I mean, I'm very happy playing anywhere, and of course, as Lisa said before, the audience in England is always very, very sweet to me, and I'm very attentive. So it's always very, very nice for me to play anywhere in England.
It's a lovely place, Tideswell. It's a really nice part of Derbyshire. I think you'll enjoy it. Can people dance when they go along if there's enough space?
Well, if they can find a space in the aisles and they can dance, they're very welcome to do so. I would say it's the easiest place to dance. I'm not sure what's on the floor. It's certainly not wood, but
it's a church, isn't it?
Yeah. It's generally people, when they hear Martín sing, they don't want to dance. They just want to sit and listen to him because he's fantastic.
But they can dance if they want. Don't frustrate them.
You're a bit smitten with him, aren't you, Lisa?
He's a great singer, He's an absolutely fantastic singer. He's one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life.
No, he's incredible. I've listened to some of them. Unfortunately, we can't play all of it, but I've listened to some of the other tracks that you sent over to me. That's great. I shall probably get a disc of his. I'm sure they're available. You can get your music, can you, online probably, Martin?
Yes, you can.
Yes,
Lisa knows more about it.
Guitar Tango Massager is available on all major online outlets like iTunes and Amazon.
And it's Alvarado, Alvarado. Just finish by telling us what sort of a set you're doing tonight, Martin, in Tideswell.
Pardon? Sorry.
What sort of a concert are you putting on tonight? What sort of pieces are we going to be able to look forward to?
Well, I'm going to play mostly songs from my 4 albums that I have made so far. I'm going to play some songs of mine, and it's mostly passionate songs, so from the heart. I'm quite a romantic guy, and it's mostly about love. There is one song about football also because I'm a football fan. And I'm going to play guitar, so I'm going to be the one-man orchestra. And I really enjoy this because I have also been playing with orchestras this tour, and it's very intimate. It's very nice when you can play on your own because you have all the control of the music going on, and it's going to be. You can be sure I'm going to sing my heart out. So I hope that people will enjoy it. So it's mostly very beautiful poetries and great melodies that I didn't write myself, and also my songs, which are, I hope, good enough.
I'm sure they are.
Poetry. But I'm singing the main, some of the main poets in Argentinian tango culture, and some of the greatest melody makers in Argentinian tango.
Yeah, well, Argentina, as we know, has a great historic tradition of poetry as well, that some of its writers. And if you see a young lady at the back looking very, very admiring, it's going to be Lisa. Listen, I hope you get.
That's true.
I hope you get more than a kebab or a curry afterwards. Although a nice curry when you finished is not too bad. But thanks ever so much for talking to us. You're clearly a great talent. It's really lovely that you're coming to our part of the world. And well, stay in touch. Let me know when you're coming back, won't you?
Thank you very much, Richard.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you
Martín,
very much, and
take
I
care.
will enjoy your town very much. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.